Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Dr. Nia Desnia show. And I'm happy to have everybody here today. I'm very excited. Today has been a very busy day for me. Today is the last day of the tax season. So yeah, very busy. But you know what? I said that, I'll just spend a few minutes just to give some tips. All right. And of course, for those that are just watching me for the first time, you're really welcome. This is the Dr. Nia Desnia show where I provide resources to help SMEs thrive, and that's small and medium-sized enterprises to thrive, which is small and medium-sized businesses. Now, of course, this session or these shows or shorts these short programs that I always have try to have that weekly. For it is there. The programs are for informative and educative purposes only. And so, if you need um, professional advice where it's tailored to your company, please reach out to my firm, and that's it. You go to that website. I think, let me see if I can adjust. Yes, Ine Adesanya. Hopefully you can see that. IneAdesanya.com, drineadesanya.com. And then you navigate to my CPA firm where you can actually set up a consultation meeting with me. All right, so let's get right to it. So my topic today, right, is the importance of tax planning. I just felt that it's necessary to speak about that at this time because, this is getting to the end of the year. Of course, it's good to do tax planning throughout the year, but usually sometimes we don't have time with everything that's going on. But I really advise that you zero in at this. This is Q4. And if you have a CPA that you've been working with throughout the year, fantastic, right? But I mean, if you don't have one, or you have one and the person hasn't actually talked about tax planning up to now, please make sure you mention it. And of course, if you don't have a CPA working with you, please reach out to my firm and we can work with you. All right. Now, why is it important? Why are we talking about tax planning? Now, this year, tax season has just ended today. And a lot of people um, wait until the following year to say, oh, wow, I should have done this, I should have done that. No, that's not how it works. It's very important for you to be proactive, right, throughout the year, because once it reaches, the end of the year of 2024, for example, you can't be thinking of things in April or October, or just trying to take expenses that you didn't take. So you can't do that. That's fraud, right? You can't do that. And of course, this platform is always tax what avoidance, not tax evasion. I always stress that, because tax evasion what is illegal. It's a criminal offense. So we are not dealing with that. We always talk about tax avoidance, which is legal, and we want to make sure that we're on that platform. All right. So tax planning, I'm going to give you some tips and why is it important, right? Or how do you actually go about tax planning, right? The importance of tax planning, of course, and I'll mention how you go about that. It's important for you to plan, because you would actually say, okay, is there anything that you can adjust, amend? Well, not amend really, because you can just make changes, I would say. Or because amend something within the year, make changes at this time to actually reduce your tax liability. So that's the goal. You want to make sure that you put more money in your pocket. That's the goal. Put more money in your pocket, right? As or by put more money in your pocket by reducing your taxes, right? Make good money, right? Make good profit, but you don't want to give everything to the government, right? And of course, as I said, tax planning is very, very important. So let's look at some ways to strategize and how do you do it. So I'm not only going to talk about why it's important, but how do you really go about this? First of all, I would say to start tax planning, I would say, first of all, look at your position, right? Look at where are you right now. Where are you with your financial statement? Where are you with your profit and loss? What's going on there? right? Are you looking at, okay, you're really going to make good money, some projections, because this is already October. So are you looking at, can you maybe see some projections that you're going to make this kind of money? Of course, I mean, it's an estimate, right? So you're looking at where are you, what are you seeing, right? In your taxes, in your profit and loss, right? You're looking at where are you, right? Where are you as with that profit? Are you really going to make high profit where you're going to spend so much, or have you actually taking into account all these deductions, the credits? What have you done, right? That's what you look at. First of all, look at where you are, the position, right? And of course, I know it's not your field because I mean, I'm not saying that everybody listening to me, usually you're not an accountant because it's for business owners, right? That's why it's important for you to work with an accountant because it's not just the profit, it's the tax at the end of the day, right? I always talk about for us is the big picture. I always mention this as big picture. Big picture means that it's really looking at how the efficiency, how the business does, I mean, how the workings of the business, right? The efficiency, making profit and also not paying so much in taxes. All right. So that's what you look at. The next step is we're looking at, okay, what has changed? Is there any tax policy that has changed? Regulations? Is there anything in the Internal Revenue Code that has changed? Is there something that we need to look at? I know sometimes when we look at compliance, we might say, oh, it's only compliance to prevent ourselves from getting in trouble. I get it. But there are some tax provisions that are out there that your company, your business can actually take advantage of. But you have to know it, right? You can't just say, okay, yeah, I mean, you can't just say, okay, I'm taking an advantage of this of a provision, right? Without really knowing what is out there. All right. So important for you to look at what's happening then. Of course, as I said, you can't do it on your own. It's important to work with a professional, right? So the first step was to look at our positions, right? Position as the company's position, as I mentioned. The next step is, okay, what is out there? Compliance is important, but also looking looking at those provisions that are beneficial, right? So after looking at that, what do you do then? You implement those provisions, right? And there are some provisions that might not work for your company, and that's why I always say that this is not this is for I mean this is for educative and informative purposes only. It's not a blanket rule that, oh, this provision will work for you. So you have to make sure and that that this provision works for your company. And there are some that actually might be peculiar to your company for so many reasons. It could be maybe you're into your company is has because of the industry, your industry has a particular credit out there. So very important for us to look at the big picture, or you look at what's happening with your CPA, right? If you're working with one. All right. So when you implement that, what happens? Okay, yeah. At the end of the day, the goal is what? To pay less taxes, right? Right. Again, efficiency is important, but you don't want that efficiency that turns into a lot of money when I say a lot of money, when it comes to profit, a lot of profit going away from you because you do not do tax planning, right? So let me just throw out some examples of tax planning, and I remember, although the goal here is just to talk about the importance, but some of the importance or some of the examples, as I said, as I want to mention here, some examples of tax planning is, first of all, depreciation, asset purchase, right? You might look at, okay, you know what? I've been thinking of buying this asset, for in the near future, but you know what? I can buy it now. We look at some of the cash flow and say, okay, yeah, because when you buy depreciation, I mean, I don't want to go into technicalities, but an asset is something you use to run the business, right? That usually the product lasts, or the asset, or what we're talking about lasts for the use of it lasts for usually over a year. For example, you have a car that you use for the business, but you're not selling cars. So make sure we know that. For example, you have furniture, right? You have machinery. Okay. Those are some examples of assets. You know what? You might say this is the time to buy. Or is there a credit? Another example, is there a credit out there that you want to take advantage of. There are so many ways that you can actually plan. Is there any retirement plan out there that you believe that will work for your company? You've not really had a retirement plan, but is there any retirement plan that will work well for your company? These are some of the things that are set in place that you can actually you know take advantage of. Of course, again, there are so many, right? But this is the beauty of tax planning. You prepare before the end of the year so you can implement those things. And once you implement all those stuff, you know what happens, right? You end up really reducing your tax liability, right? Which is your tax, the taxes you have to pay, right? Your company has to pay, would have to pay eventually if you did not plan, right? You did not implement not only tax planning, just not if you did not implement what you planned, right? What you found out, all right? So again, very important as again, this is the last day of the tax season here in the US. And so I always advise people, don't wait until the next year to say, oh, I wish. This is the time to sit. If you've not, to sit with your accountant. If you haven't done that throughout the year, this is the time to make sure you implement those changes, put those provisions in place, and do the needful, right? To make sure that you're not paying so much in taxes. We want to you're enjoying your business, you're making good money, but tax planning is very important. All right. Okay. So again, thank you for being here. And I want to leave you with this. If no, if you want your business to thrive, right, you have to be intentional. All right. So have a good one. See you next time.